when I talked to him, go ahead. Oh, maybe now. When I talked to Mitch in spring training, he had said he would, cross the bridge when he got there. Of the first half is so consistent for him, but he does run into those issues in the second half of the season, just kind of having that up and down type of trend. I asked him, did you fix anything this time? He said it's a fine line. You don't necessarily want to mess with anything baseball, but he did taper back in his, essentially, the training and things like that. What do you encourage to a guy like him who's been so consistent this first half to make sure, he just believes that he's good enough, what he's doing is fine, and to not really get too in his head about it?
Yeah, to keep doing what he's doing. He had a tremendous first half and throwing the ball extremely well, just continuing that work, and have no doubt that he will do that and continue to get better.
Did you find that as a player sometimes too, if you had an area where you just kept harping on essentially each season that you were trying to tinker with it too much?
I think that the game, there's so much mental in the game of baseball, and we see it offensively with our guys. They want to be the guys to come through with runners in scoring position. They're going up there trying, they feel like they have to get it done as opposed to understanding just going up there to get it done. I think that resonates with all baseball players going out there, Mitch and all these guys, of finding ways to be consistent in what they do, have that mentality that they're here for a reason. Mitch has shown that. He's an all-star, and believing in that when he goes out there, continue to work and get better, but trusting in the fact that, he's a heck of a pitcher.
Donnie, how have you seen him handle pitching well but not getting the team results at the end?
Really well. It's hard to do. Like we talked about last night with Paul, great to get Paul the win, to get the team win. But the starting pitching has been so good. Mitch and Paul and the guys, the way that they've gone about it, and at times not getting the run support. And I think that he hasn't changed, whether it's been 0-0 or 1-0 either way. They continue to go out and execute each pitch, and the mentality that they've shown and the ability to handle that has been phenomenal.
If you look back with some satisfaction in the way that you handled David Bednar, from the struggles to an uncomfortable conversation to a option to AAA, to the fixing, to the implementation, to where everything's at now?
Man, I think that speaks a lot about David and what he's been able to accomplish and who he is. Knowing he's from Pittsburgh, the grit that he's got, the care that he has about the city, about the team, the professionalism. It's hard to do, to go from an all-star to going down to AAA in a tough stretch, to come back and be able to do what he's been able to do and throw the ball as well as he has. Can't say enough about him and his perseverance and how good of a pitcher he is.
But from the organization's perspective, it's kind of a bold move to take a two-time all-star and even want to bring him into the office to have that conversation.
Yeah, you know what? And he handled it so well, and just it's remarkable what he's been able to do. And sometimes, like, you maybe bold move. I not being the manager at that point, so it's certainly nothing that I could say anything about. It's something that he's responded to extremely well and learned from, and just remarkable how well he's handled it and how well he's done coming back. And we know it's in there. You see it. It's just the consistency, the off speed, the power arm. And getting him to believe again. And a comment that he made to me the other day is that he's found that joy in competing again, being out there and competing at this level that sometimes you can lose.
Was there anything mechanically that you had noticed with David before he went down to AAA that seems to have been clicking a little bit more, or was it strictly just execution for him?
I think it was execution. They've tinkered with some things mechanically. I couldn't speak to the exact detail of what that might be, but I think it was the execution of, really his curveball has gotten better and being able to land at first strike and opening up. We know he's got the power arm, commanding the fastball, and working ahead in the count. He's done a really good job of.
Donnie, I don't know when IKF came here, there was thought that he would be the everyday shortstop, but during his time here, what has he brought on and off the field to this team?
Oh, a lot, man. The energy that he brings every single day and the way that he plays short, having him and Cabrian over on that left side, they've been, I haven't looked at exactly, but I would be hard pressed to find a left side of the infield that's been better than them, combined, and the way that he's played short every single day, the jumps that he gets offensively, staying within himself and doing what he's done and resetting the lineup there from that 9-hole, really has been outstanding.
We're a few minutes away from meeting Seth. Have your initial takeaways, what was the interaction like if you've had an opportunity to do that?
I haven't had a chance to meet him yet, but just the excitement in the organization to add, a young power arm like that. Watching video before the draft of guys that we thought may be there, and I'm not sure that we had a lot of confidence that he was going to make it to 6, and to have him there on the board and be able to select him, the power arm. I didn't have a chance to be involved in the meetings, but the feedback that I got from hearing about it was maturity level, the physicality that you see, the power arm and the changeup looked to be really elite. And he spun some really good breaking balls for a high school kid that were well above average. So just really excited to add him and as a person and as a player to the org.
What was your impression when you saw the video? You saw video of him before the draft?
Yeah.
What did you think just watching video of? He's a 19-year-old high school kid.
Yeah.
But again, he's cut above the typical high school pitcher.
Absolutely, and like I said, the power arm. You saw the velo. What impressed me was a feel for the changeup, and which is you don't see a lot of times from an amateur, especially a high school kid. And the ability to spin the breaking ball was well above average too, which you don't see too often. So you add all those things together. A really exciting guy to add to the organization.
What's it like to be meeting these recent draftees? Obviously, the vast majority of them will be several years away, but what's it like to go and introduce yourself to the guys who are hopefully the next generation Pirates?
Yeah, it's really cool. Looking back when I got drafted and, really not even knowing what I was getting into in the cutthroat business and the competition, and just you're gonna have your ups and downs, and how do you find a way to persevere through that and understand that, Gary Green always told me you're not as good as you are on your best day, and you're not as bad as you are on your worst, and you're gonna be somewhere in the middle. And how do you find that level and continue to work and get better every single day? And really exciting for these guys to start their journey to Pittsburgh.
There's been a lot of talk about Mitch maybe getting traded, and if he does, this will be his last start. I don't know if worry's the right word, but do you have any concern that it's in the way said tonight and maybe distracts him a little bit?
No, I don't. We've had some conversations around it, and he seems to be in a really good space around that. I think that Mitch has learned a lot. We were just talking about ups and downs in baseball, and I think he's learned a lot through a lot of that himself and his career, and I feel like he's in a really good spot mentally to go into tonight's start. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.